Diabetes and weak erection. The doctor's secret to ending impotence caused by diabetes. If you have diabetes, regardless of the type, and you've noticed that your potency isn't quite what it used to be, it's not just in your head. This really happens, and science explains why. But here's the good news. It can be solved. Many men face the same dilemma. They begin to notice that their erections are weaker, less frequent, or even disappearing altogether. At first, it may seem like just fatigue or stress, but over time, the truth becomes unavoidable. Diabetes can cause erectile dysfunction, and if nothing is done, it only gets worse. But why does this happen? What does diabetes do to your body that affects your erection? And more importantly, how can you reverse it and regain your natural potency? Here at Breaking Diabetes, our mission is clear: to help you live better by controlling your blood sugar and preventing diabetes from stealing your quality of life. And if there's something that directly impacts a man's self-esteem and well-being, it's sexual health. So if you want to learn the secrets that doctors recommend to end impotence caused by diabetes, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because what I'm about to share with you could change your life. Let's get straight to the point. How does diabetes affect erectile dysfunction, and what can you do to turn the tables? And the shocking discovery. Joao never imagined that something so intimate and fundamental to his self-esteem could be shaken so devastatingly. At 46, he had already learned to deal with the challenges of type 2 diabetes. He controlled his diet, took his medications, and tried to maintain his routine as best he could. But lately, something had been different. Something he avoided even acknowledging to himself. At first, he thought it was just fatigue. Then he started blaming work stress and sleepless nights. But the truth was undeniable. His erection wasn't what it used to be. Worse still, sometimes it simply didn't happen at all. He pretended not to care, changing the subject when his wife asked if everything was okay. But inside, fear was growing. The decisive moment came one night that was supposed to be special. Candlelit dinner, a good bottle of wine, shared laughter. But when the time came, nothing. The silence that followed was deafening. His wife tried to downplay it. Maybe it's just a bad day. But Joao knew. It wasn't just a bad day. That night, unable to sleep, he grabbed his phone and started desperately searching. It was then that he found something that made his heart race, but not in the way he would have liked. The diagnosis that changed everything. Joao stared at the phone screen, unable to look away. The words flashed before him like an alarm he couldn't ignore. Diabetes can cause erectile dysfunction. He felt a chill run down his spine. He read and reread that sentence countless times, hoping that, somehow, the information would disappear. But as he delved deeper into his research, the facts became clearer and clearer. Type 2 diabetes didn't only affect blood glucose levels. It impaired circulation, nerves, and even hormones. It was as if his own body was sabotaging his masculinity. The next morning, with heavy eyes from lack of sleep, Joao scheduled an appointment with his doctor. The doctor listened attentively, asked a few questions, and finally took a deep breath before saying, "Joao, this is more common than you think. Your diabetes might be affecting the blood flow and nerves in your body, including those responsible for your erection." The confirmation hit like a blow. He tried to stay composed, but his mind was already full of questions. Was this it, then? Was his fate sealed? No turning back. The doctor suggested some changes to his medication and recommended conventional treatments, but Joao left the consultation feeling like there was something more. Something he still hadn't discovered. And he was right. Just days later, in an unexpected conversation, Joao discovered a secret that few doctors talk about. The search for a cure for diabetic erectile dysfunction. The following days were a mix of frustration and hope for Joao. After his consultation with a doctor, he followed the guidelines meticulously, but the impotence showed no signs of receding. Each attempt left a deeper emptiness inside him. The feeling of impotence wasn't just physical, it was emotional. He felt like he was losing control of his own life. And as if that wasn't enough, he started to notice that many times, when looking for answers, the options offered were far from effective. Medications, expensive treatments, therapies with no guarantee of success, nothing that truly addressed the root of the problem. Erectile dysfunction related to type 2 diabetes wasn't just a physical challenge. It was a mental and emotional issue that affected every area of his life. It was then, on an ordinary night, while talking to a friend about what he was going through, that he first heard something that would change his trajectory. Joao, have you heard about the methods some specialists are using to treat erectile dysfunction caused by diabetes? It doesn't involve expensive medications, and it seems to tackle the cause directly. Intrigued, Joao wasted no time. He did a quick search on this method that many were calling revolutionary. But there was something strange about it. Many people talked about it, but no one could explain clearly what was really behind this secret. What could this treatment be that was changing the lives of so many people? And more importantly, would it truly be effective for him? This was the moment Joao decided he couldn't continue his journey alone. He needed deeper answers, something only doctors or specialists with experience could offer. The doctor's secret revealed. It was a cold day when Joao finally met the specialist he'd heard so much about. He was skeptical, but the need to find a solution kept him going. Upon entering the clinic, the atmosphere was calm, almost as if a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. The doctor, a man with a calm demeanor and a welcoming smile, seemed to know exactly what Joao was facing. "I understand your distress, Joao. What you're going through isn't rare, but it's deeply complex," said the doctor as he sat in front of him. Those words, spoken with such calmness and empathy, gave Joao a sense of relief. He knew he was in the right place. The doctor then began talking about something that seemed completely new. Erectile dysfunction caused by type 2 diabetes isn't just a matter of hormones or circulation. The main cause is something much deeper, something that not all professionals know how to identify. He paused, letting the tension hang in the air. The secret we're discovering is that the key to reversing diabetic impotence lies in restoring a vital balance that diabetes silently affects in the body. Joao was stunned. He had always known that diabetes was a complex disease, but he never imagined that something so simple, almost invisible, could be what was blocking his sexual life and happiness. The doctor then revealed that conventional treatments often ignore the internal conditions diabetes altered, like insulin resistance, and how this reflected in everything from nerves to blood circulation. But it wasn't just that. The key was how to reverse this process naturally, without relying on expensive, short-term medications. The specialist began to explain how, by restoring the body's health from the inside out, one could permanently regain sexual vitality. He said something Joao would never forget. Diabetes can be controlled, but you need to shift the focus of treatment. It's not just about controlling blood sugar. It's about restructuring the body to restore what it's lost. Joao knew this was only the beginning of something he never thought possible. But first, he needed to understand how to put this revolutionary secret into practice. And what Joao discovered could transform your life. What Joao discovered in that consultation wasn't just a secret formula, but a new path, one that not only offered hope but a real possibility of transformation. It was a simple yet revolutionary concept. The secret wasn't just in medications or conventional therapies, but in a deep understanding of how diabetes affected the body in such an insidious and silent way. Over the following months, Joao committed himself wholeheartedly to this innovative approach. He changed his habits, adopted a specific diet, and most importantly, started focusing on something that doctors rarely talked about, reprogramming the body itself. He began to understand how to improve blood circulation, restore damaged nerves, and most importantly, increase the production of natural substances that the body had gradually stopped producing due to diabetes' impact. Each step was a challenge, but also a revelation. Joao felt a renewed energy in his body, something he hadn't felt in years. The symptoms of erectile dysfunction started to diminish, and soon he noticed something even more extraordinary. His confidence returned, his libido came back, and his desire for life was stronger than ever. He wasn't just reversing diabetic erectile dysfunction. He was rebuilding vitality in a way he never thought possible. And the best part, he wasn't dependent on expensive medications with side effects anymore. He was taking charge of his health in a way he hadn't in decades. Joao knew that, while his journey was unique, what he had discovered shouldn't be kept secret. The people who were going through what he went through, those who were tired of seeing diabetes steal not just their health but their self-esteem, deserved to know what he knew. And that's when he made a decision that would change not only his life but many others around him. The decision Joao made was simple but powerful. He decided to share everything he had learned with the world. He couldn't keep the secret to himself anymore. He knew that, just like him, many people were facing the same problem, unaware that there was a way to take back control of their lives and health. Joao dedicated himself to creating a program that would teach others how to reverse diabetic erectile dysfunction. With the help of experts and with a deep commitment to helping people reclaim their potency, Joao made it his mission to share the truth about what he had discovered. And now it's your turn. What Joao learned could change your life too. If you want to know more about this method, I encourage you to keep following the Breaking Diabetes channel and discover how you can put an end to diabetic impotence once and for all.